This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, a Dunedin invention is set to help prevent near misses on pedestrian crossings across the country. South Dunedin residents meet with scientists and engineers and policymakers to discuss flooding following two 1-in-100-year floods. And after entering a couple of times, a Dunedin pupil is stoked to take out a major science award. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Daryl Baser. Near misses on pedestrian crossings across the country could become a thing of the past thanks to a Dunedin invention. A crossing outside Tahuna Intermediate is trialling a new device, alerting drivers to pedestrians approaching.
A newly designed flashing amber disc getting its first official trial on Victoria Road, warning motorists when people are about to step up to the pedestrian crossing. The device was thought up by Dunedin inventor Larry Burns, who got the idea after being a witness to a school pupil being struck by a truck at a pedestrian crossing on Kaikorai Valley Road a year ago.
Last year over in Kaikorai Valley, a kid got hit, and that's literally where it came from. I just thought there's got to be a better system than this, you know.
With this system, lights start flashing automatically when pedestrians interrupt a light beam as they approach the crossing. There is no requirement for them to press a button. And it's designed so pedestrians are unlikely to re-trigger the flashing light when they get to the other side. Burns says the main objective is to make drivers aware pedestrians are about to cross.
I've had a few people say, oh, it'll distract drivers' attention. Well, that's the whole plan. It is to distract drivers' attention for a few minutes so they realise there's a crossing there.
Burns has collaborated with Dunedin company BFW Innovations to make the prototype, and they see the device as being useful across the country.
Outside schools, any main roads, hazard areas where they have high impact, critical conditions and stuff like that.
Tahuna Principal Tony Hunter is very happy for the invention to be tried out on Victoria Road, saying it's an affordable way of making a pedestrian crossing safer.
I think it's great. I think it's a fabulous innovation, and it's going to make a real difference, and a really good cost-effective solution to a very common problem, especially outside schools.
BFW Innovations say other city councils around New Zealand are already showing interest in the device, and they believe it won't be long before it's implemented in other cities around the country. In Dunedin, the South Today.
The international rugby player accused of beating his teammate is to stand trial next year. Amanaki Lalai Mafi, seen here leaving court last July, allegedly attacked a fellow player in South Dunedin after their team, the Melbourne Rebels, lost to the Highlanders in July last year. This morning, Judge Crosby set a trial date for January 27th next year. Mafi is currently on bail in Japan, and his alleged victim is currently in La Rochelle, France. The pair have already been fined 15,000 Australian dollars each by their club as a result of the late night episode. Flooding was a conversation point in South Dunedin recently as residents met with scientists, engineers and policy makers to discuss the flooding issues hitting their low-lying area. In 2015, floodwaters damaged more than 1,000 homes and businesses, with sewage contamination forcing some South Dunedin residents out of their homes. A serious event happened again last year. In 2015, Bathgate Park School was evacuated and closed for a couple of days following a major flooding issue which forced 1,000 people to move out. This week the school hosted a community hui focused on finding a way forward.
We all have to work together. We have to work with the ORC, we have to work with the DCC, central government, local residents, all the aspects of the community and the local residents, as well as businesses, and we need to come to some solutions together.
Experts from the Otago Regional Council, GNS Science and the DCC spoke with residents about flooding, rising groundwater levels and the future of South Dunedin. Red Cross worker Steve King was on the ground in 2015 and he remembers a lot of ill feeling in the days following the floods.
Go back to the 2015 flood, and there was a lot of kind of anger. It's probably a lot of it was perhaps justifiable, and I get the sense that we've kind of moved past that a wee bit, and people are now looking at solutions and looking at working together to see what can be done in a positive way.
About 100 people listened to the speakers and asked questions to see what impact climate change and water issues could have. More than 2,500 South Dunedin homes sit less than 50 centimetres above sea level and face an increasing risk of severe weather from climate change. Resident Lois Scott says the area faces many challenges but has a stoic heart.
You know, this is a unique little neck of the woods. I love the people here, 26,000 people, and you know, from differing backgrounds, incomes, but we are all part of this whole future, and we've got to do something about it. We've got to work together.
Dunedin City Council Community Advisor Nick Orbell says that South Dunedin is the country's most densely populated area under threat from rising sea levels.
This is the part of New Zealand that has the most people living in an area that would be detrimentally affected by any sea level changes, is likely to be affected by increasing flood events, and probably we're seeing evidence of more frequent flooding already.
DCC Chief Executive Sue Bidrose says that residents can take heart from the Council's plans to upgrade the Green Island water treatment plant, but that's several years away and will cost approximately $44 million. In Dunedin, the South Today. Summer skiing at Queenstown's Coronet Peak could become a reality thanks to the possible installation of a snow factory. The equipment is designed to make ice and shred it into snow regardless of the outdoor temperature. NZ Ski Chief Executive Paul Anderson says if installed, the equipment will let the ski field make snow in summer to be used for sledding or ski lessons. While they admit they're looking 30 to 40 years into the future, the snow factory is included in an application for concession from the Department of Conservation. The company has also applied to use the gondola cabins and chairlifts to transport walkers and other users up the mountain over the summer months. Submissions on NZ Ski's application to DOC close at the end of the month. A Dunedin high school pupil spent many late nights on a research project only to find the results are inconclusive. It's something he's done before, but this time his work has set him apart from his fellows. Leafing through his winning research, Aaron Hewson has worked away many a late night on science research projects without much result or recognition. But his entry in this year's Aurora Energy Otago Science and Technology Fair won 5 awards, including the Premier Best in Fair Award.
I was very surprised. Well, to be fair, this is my 3rd year doing science fair, and every project has been inconclusive. I mean, it's really heart-wrenching, because you put a lot of time into it, you put a lot of effort into thinking of what you're doing and trying to just get a nice answer out of it, but that's the reality, not everything's going to be a nice answer.
The 16-year-old King's High School pupils project, called Barking for Brightness, investigating chlorophyll concentration of houndstooth fern at Orokonui Eco Sanctuary, aims to see what impact climate change will have on plant life in New Zealand.
It's kind of important to know how our native plants especially are going to survive. And one of the things that's important to know about is how will they produce energy in these new conditions. And part of that is understanding how flexible they are, how plastic they are to the environment, how can they change when the conditions change. So light is one big thing that determines how plants grow.
He was one of 323 pupils who presented 268 entries from 28 schools across Otago. He says he was trying to see if the colour of a plant changed if it received more or less light.
Essentially, I tried to see if I could correlate light intensity and the amount of chlorophyll a plant had based on image processing to see if there was some kind of relationship, which there wasn't, sadly.
Hewson says because of the inconclusive result, he was surprised to win so many awards. However, he believes the awards aren't for the results of the research, but they're for the thought processes behind gathering the results. In Dunedin, the South Today. Still to come on the South Today, a woman is recovering in Dunedin Hospital following an accident this morning. and a Dunedin helicopter firm that shows off its brand new machine. We'll see you after the break.
At Alex Campbell Menswear, we bring you the best value. We have bought a massive selection of moleskins and we're passing on the savings to you. Buy one pair, save $25. Buy two, save $60, and we have a great deal on our knitwear. Look at it all, 25% off all our knitwear. And to go with the knitwear, what about a nice warm shirt? These are 25% off too. And while we're doing the 25% off, what about on the jackets? 25% off them as well.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So check us out for massive savings this winter.
Step into Shop on Carrot and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chin.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
No mai no, welcome back. A woman has moderate injuries following a crash on Dunedin's northern motorway this morning. Police were called just before 8 a.m. to the incident at the Pigeon Flat Summit, where a car had rolled onto its side. Only one car was involved in the crash, and the driver was trapped for a short time. The motorway was completely closed following the crash, but both lanes were reopened just before 9 a.m. St John says one patient was taken to Dunedin Hospital in a moderate condition. Change is coming for Dunedin's curbside rubbish collection system, as the city considers whether to switch to a wheelie bin service for rubbish and organic waste. The Dunedin City Council is studying the possible changes as part of its Waste Futures project. A report to the City Council's Infrastructure Services and Network Committee has outlined two options for a new service, both involving change. Under the first, a new wheelie bin for household rubbish will replace the black plastic rubbish bag, and in the second option, as well as a new rubbish wheelie bin, there will also be a separate wheelie bin for organic waste. The existing blue bins for glass and yellow wheelie bins for other forms of mixed recycling will remain under both options. Dunedin has acquired a new $15 million air ambulance helicopter, making Otago's helicopter rescue service one of the best in the country. The Airbus H145 twin-engine helicopter, bought by Helicopters Otago, is set to enter service today.
Flying in formation for a promotional photograph, Helicopters Otago shows off its fleet of shiny black rescue helicopters, including their latest acquisition, an Airbus H145 chopper. Managing Director Graham Gale describes the new chopper as being a very, very smart helicopter, with the very latest in avionics as well as terrain sensing to automatically keep the pilot and passengers safe.
For example, if you're over water, it will come down to 150 feet and won't go any further until I put a command in to make it do that. When I'm on an approach into an airport, it'll come down to 50 feet. It won't go any further. If I'm running into terrain, it comes down to 150 feet. It'll actually start to outclimb the terrain so you don't run into it.
The H145 has more room in the rear, allowing medical professionals extra space and a capacity for family members to travel with the patient.
We'll try and take your next of kin with you because we think that's important, particularly, younger people, that need the carers and their mum and dad or their grandparents with them. We think that's important.
Gale says the $15 million chopper was purchased by his company, Helicopters Otago, to meet the conditions of their contract with the government.
We're doing a really good job. And the reason I say that is because our patients are coming in and telling us that. So, we think it's a long-term sustainable service that we've put in. But it's a very, very big investment and a very, very big commitment for Helicopters Otago to make.
There are now 3 helicopters available around the clock in Dunedin, and another is permanently based in Queenstown. Gale says to keep 4 machines available requires 6 machines to be present.
To keep 4 machines flying all the time, you need another 1 or 2 machines because we're busy. Dunedin is now the busiest base in New Zealand, and particularly the flying hours that we do. We do the longest missions of any operation in New Zealand, so we do need other helicopters there when the other machines are on check. We can't stop doing the service because it's a machine on check.
Another new Airbus H145 helicopter is now based in Christchurch, and the rescue service continues being supported by the older BK117s at Nelson, Greymouth and Queenstown, along with an at-call service available from Te Anau. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And after the break on the South Today, we discover the furry culprit of a peninsula power outage and have a look at the weather. See you after the break.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. For a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chill.
maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Garage Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garage quality service. Garage Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. We're having a massive menswear liquidation. Don't panic, it's not our liquidation, it's Munn's Menswear. They suddenly closed 6 stores throughout the country. Munn's have left their suppliers dangling and desperate to move large orders. We've come to the party. It's our biggest purchase yet. You can save up to 70%. Yes, save up to 70%. We've got strictly limited stocks at the best deals.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's a big one. South Dunedin store. Don't miss this.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Welcome back. Aurora Energy says a power outage along parts of the Otago Peninsula was caused by a possum making contact with the line. Power went out just before 5 p.m. yesterday and wasn't due to be restored until mid-afternoon today. Aurora Energy crews attended the area to make it safe, but high winds and wet weather made it unsafe to continue working through the night to restore power. The company says over 400 customers were affected. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Tahuna Intermediate hosted a working trial of lights at a pedestrian crossing. The invention could help prevent near misses across the country. South Dunedin residents met with scientists, engineers and policymakers to discuss flooding issues following 2 1-in-100-year floods. And after entering a couple of times, a Dunedin pupil is stoked to take out a major science award despite his research being inconclusive. Time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. Welcome editor Mr Barry Stewart.
Hello Daryl. Queenstown School is pledging to improve communications after concerned parents pulled a dozen pupils from the school. More on that, of course, in the paper tomorrow. A 3-year delay in major Otago water quality plan had better come with stronger regulations, Otago regional councillors say. And Paulina Simons, well-known author, is visiting the South, and she talks about her latest book, which is surprisingly partly set in Invercargill, so that'll be interesting. Overnight waves and wind have exposed landfill at Ocean Beach, and Liz Cadogan says it must be in the blood. Liz has put her hand up for the Waitaki District Council and joins her 2 brothers, Brian and Tim, mayors of Clutha and Central respectively, in seeking a seat in October's local body elections. So it's a real Cadogan family affair. Rugby, All Blacks are named this evening. I haven't got the team yet, but we'll certainly have it in the paper tomorrow, and that's of course for the very important Bledisloe Cup match in Auckland on Saturday. having lost last weekend's one. Let's hope we can do a little bit better. The Black Caps begin their first test against Sri Lanka this evening, and also the Ashes second test, Australia-England, that starts also this evening. So lots of sporting action.
Indeed, sporting following the news action.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you.
Cheers. And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with tonight's southern view of St Paul's in Dunedin's Octagon. Looking at the situation, a westerly airflow will develop over New Zealand tomorrow and increase on Friday ahead of a front bringing rain and colder temperatures. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect clouds and 12 degrees. Heading across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim are due for a cloudy day and 14. Heading down to Canterbury, Kaikoura, Christchurch and Ashburton, you're all due to have a cloud or two and 12 degree highs. Looking at what's in store for the southern towns, fresh westerlies and clear skies with 10 degree highs for Balclutha, the Catlins, Lumsden and Gore. Travelling across to the Central Lakes, Wanaka you should plan for moderate westerlies and sun with 10 degrees, Queenstown moderate westerlies and 9, Alexandra you also get moderate westerlies but you're a bit warmer on 12, expect 10 degrees in Tiano with westerlies and showers later. Looking at the northern towns, along the coast, Timaru and Romaru can expect light northeasterlies, fine and 13 degrees. Further inland, Twizel and Omarama, you're set for moderate westerlies, fine and 11 degree highs for you both. In Dunedin, it'll be mostly cloudy tonight with light westerly winds and an overnight low of 4. Cloudy at first tomorrow, but cloud breaking and sunny periods increasing during the day. Milder with moderate west to northwest winds, a high of 12 and a low of 5. Cloud thickens and lowers on Friday with some rain developing in the early evening. Moderate northwesterly winds dying out, being replaced by colder southwesterlies which freshen later. A high of 14 and a low of 7. And finally, moving to Invercargill, mostly cloudy tonight with westerly winds and an overnight low of 4. Fine with sunny periods and some cloud tomorrow. Fresh, cool westerly winds, a high of 11 and a low of 7. Cloud increasing with northwesterlies becoming strong and gusty on Friday. Rain develops during the afternoon with gusty southwesterlies, a high of 11 and a low of 6. And that's all from the South Today News team this Wednesday. Well, for the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.